Hey, welcome to part 4 of the God of War commentary, folks. We're continuing our little journey through Athens in today's part as we find a way to get the hell out of here. There's a lot of assholes here.
Probably one of the weaknesses of the God of War brand of combat is that although it sort of has combos, it doesn't really... They don't... The combos themselves aren't a really big part of what makes it fun, and they aren't particularly encouraged either. I mean, you have a combo counter, but it kind of just seems like an obligation.
Yeah, it's totally an obligation in the original game.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't do anything either for your sense of fun or to the gameplay itself to actually string together a really long combo.
Yeah. And you always have the basic, square combo. You can chain it with triangle at points to pretty much launch the enemy into the air and follow up with either a grab or an air combo that's really small. But besides that, you also get, maneuvers. It's usually, you hold L1 or R1 with square or triangle, and you can do some pretty flashy shit. My problem with them is that they don't really mesh well with your basic combo system. Like, they're so extravagant in maneuverability that there's no real proper way to tie them in with a basic combo.
Yeah.
You either do them individually, or you wait until after your basic combo and do them then and there.
Yeah.
Not to say that you won't get use out of them, because I will get use out of them. I'll demonstrate it like the hell and back as this playthrough goes, but it could have been a little better in terms of how everything was implemented. But again, as we said last time, first game of the series.
Yeah.
They're still getting their wings. And by God of War 2, they will give you literal wings.
Not the best wings ever, but...
No, but still wings.
It's just that it's not a very... It's not the most cohesive combat system in the world. Like, at times it seems to not know exactly where its focus is. Where you can't really say that about the other three stylish action games that were out around the time. Devil May Cry had its thing and knew how to do it, and well, except for until it got kicked in the head during the second game, but that's a whole different story. Ninja Gaiden knew exactly what it was trying to do and stuck to it, and God Hand was all about the technical brawling. And that was, and if there's one thing that God Hand actually has going for it, it's a hell of a lot of focus on its mechanics, because God knows it's not the presentation that's keeping that game alive.
You don't like the midget Sentai Force?
Well, the ridiculousness of the story notwithstanding, the presentation of the entire experience is incredibly shoddy.
Game, I already know how to push and kick. I've done it maybe at least 4 times already before I even got to this thing.
Yeah, God of War...
Can I say this game, I don't think this game had enough pushing shit. You know?
That's the only time I think anybody could ever say that ever.
And I'm also being totally sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
This game has too much of this shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing about God of War that kind of peeves me off. It's like one of the pioneers of the, okay, we need to design our game to give button prompts for every possible action you can do at a given time, every time you can do them.
Athena, look! I can push this without even touching it!
And The Witcher 3 has my favorite answer to that, because, it just has an element of the HUD that has all of your possible actions listed out in the bottom corner of your screen, but you can switch it off if you don't want it, which is great, okay? If you want the hand-holding, have the hand-holding. If you don't, if you want to remember your controller like every other gamer on the planet would, then you can do that. Just, goddamn, don't force the button prompts down our throat, because that is by far the most annoying aspect of God of War to me, even beyond Kratos being an unlikable prick. Is that I never really feel like I'm thinking for myself while I play this game. And, well, there's brainless fun, and then there's brainless fun, you know what I'm saying?
No, there's brainless fun, then there's mindless fun.
Yeah. That's a better way of putting it.
Which one's the better one in this? I'd say mindless is probably worse. I would.
By the way, I like the fact that Kratos can drag this huge ballista around, but he can't physically turn it without a turnstile. Okay. Sure. Why not?
Grip traction.
And then Noel and Nathan Drake just totally school him when the PlayStation 3 comes around by learning how to turn boxes around.
Turn them around.
Yeah, and by the way, like Uncharted 4 has exactly the same box pushing system that The Last of Us did, to no one's surprise.
This place is boring.
Well,
Loading time.
This is the intended way we need to go first, because we need to get a power up in order to deal with that asshole holding the bridge up.
Ooh, this place is fancy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a new power up now. I
Excellent.
feel it in my bones. Yeah, but unfortunately, this is the power up I was talking about before. So Zeus himself gives us his lightning bolts.
I thought we hated Zeus.
No,
Not
we
yet.
don't hate Zeus until God
Not
of War 2.
yet. That's God of War 2. Yeah.
You know, the
But, you
gods
know-
are on our side in God of War 1 because I don't think they go into enough detail with it, but essentially Ares, the god of war, is running amok in Athens because he wants, I don't know, I guess he wants the approval of Zeus. And I think I think Athena is next in line to get Zeus's favor in terms of like power. And Ares doesn't take that very well, and he destroys Athens, which worships Athena, and just starts destroying it.
Uh-huh. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the latter two games, you can't actually see anything but white in Zeus's eyes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistency.
It's like it's the first game. It's like they
Yeah,
had
I
no
know.
idea they were going to make a game. I do like how, like, just from a technical aspect, like the gods' faces when they're talking to you is pretty much just the model with a single texture. 'Cause if you look closely, they don't even fucking blink.
Yeah. Yeah, like their mouth moves. That's why I compared them to the talking doors in Fable, because those are the exact same goddamn thing. Especially in the first game, particularly in the first game, the talking doors are ugly as fuck in that game. They don't.
Now, Kratos, you must solve the shrine of the silver monkey.
I wonder what part of the wall we're gonna be able to break down.
That's not
I
a
wonder-
wall, okay? That is a stack of styrofoam blocks designed to look like a wall that they make for a movie set.
Yeah, it's like those action figure commercials with those ice cubes in the background that no kid ever fucking had, but you wonder where you got them from.
Yeah, those little square white block things.
Yeah, I was like, where do I get those? Hey, why does every commercial has them?
Oh man.
Yeah, but Zeus's lightning is just our means of taking care of enemies from a distance. The problem is that those enemies that you find in the distance are few and far between. Most of the time, you can just run up to them and smack them with your Blades of Chaos.
Yeah.
So don't waste the magic.
Yeah.
I mean, when it needs to be used, it's helpful, but that's because it needs to be.
Yeah. The problem with implementing a straight up ranged attack in a combat system that is already at its core long range is that it sort of winds up becoming weirdly situational for such a basic thing. Whereas in something like Shadow of Mordor, your arrows actually are one of the most useful things in your arsenal, and are suitably limited to fit
Oh
that.
my god, I think I just killed Agent Grecian Wilhelm.
And you blasted him so hard he went through a wall.
So why was that guy keeping? Oh, he was probably keeping the bridge down so that monsters couldn't get him. Then.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a coward.
We showed him.
Kratos' words, not mine.
Shadow of Mordor is a surprisingly fun game, by the way. I recommend that anyone vaguely interested in the Lord of the Rings try it out.
Is that the one where the final boss is the Eye of Sauron, or is that a different one?
No, that's probably the Third Age that you're thinking of. I don't know what the final boss in Shadow of Mordor is. It might actually be the Eye of Sauron for all I know, because the story concept is incredibly try-hard and edgy. The sole saving grace to that is that it is also executed pretty well in terms of presentation and voice acting. So it winds up being something that you can take seriously in spite of knowing that it's an edgy video game plot. But the game is the main draw of the game is the gameplay. Shadow of Mordor is kind of a mashup of Arkham Asylum with Assassin's Creed, and it's a very good mixture. It's also the subject of a YouTuber paid reviewing scandal, the thing that actually caused the precedent that forced the what do you call it, the FCC?
The FCC.
To make transparency a mandatory prospect, because Warner Brothers paid YouTubers to do videos on the game prior to its release, and many of them did not state that they were paid to do it, which caused
I remember
a lot of
Jim Sterling did a video on that. I remember now.
which is
a big no-no.
and you know, it would have been a really, really sour note for games journalism and YouTubers in general if the game hadn't turned out to be so goddamn good. The fact that it did turn out to be good just winds up making the whole situation dumb and unnecessary, and kind of a fortunately positive note for that particular precedent to have been brought up on. Oh, jeez. Wait, isn't she a goddess or something?
I think she's the Oracle.
She's the Oracle.
Oh, of course she is.
So she doesn't get to die until after we do what we need, after she helps us. Then she can die.
She
Okay.
has foreseen it.
Okay, so if she's not some sort of deity, why is she wearing a transparent top? Because that just kind of sounds... That just kind of strikes me as weird when it's an actual person
Boobs.
dressing like that.
It's boobs.
It's like, okay, I don't know. Strange. Are those save points?
Yes.
Okay.
Yellow auras are save points, which I use a few times when I have to reset a session.
You said the game's not very long, right? It's like
Well, you know what you're doing? About 6 hours.
Yeah, standard for the time. A little bit longer than Devil May Cry. Well, Devil May Cry 1, anyway. Certainly not Devil May Cry 3.
Although I will say, world record for this game is about an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Utilizing a glitch that I wish I could have shown off, but I don't know how to pull it off. I also would have used it as an excuse to show off the scuba diving outfit, considering what you're doing.
is it a warp to the end of the game kind of glitch?
No, but
It's a clip to an area you're not supposed to be.
it's basically as early as the Gate of Athens. You can abuse this game's checkpoint system, where as soon as the level loads, you can, at any time during the game, you can pause the game and choose load from last checkpoint. When you begin the Gate of Athens, you're coming in from your ship. If you hang from a ledge immediately on the ship and then load the checkpoint before the stage has proper time to set everything in, Kratos will be warped to the bottom of the ocean floor. And with proper jumping, you can get Kratos to go into a swimming animation, and he can swim in the air and clip through everything. It's used for a lot of major skipping, and I thought, I need to do this with the scuba diving outfit on, because it would make sense. Unfortunately, I can't do it for the life of me. It's finicky as shit to do. I want to do it.
Is it still present in the HD version?
Yes, you can do it in both the PS2 version and PS3 version of the game.
Oh, okay.
As well as another glitch that I wanted to show off, but I couldn't do it because, unfortunately, I'm too fucking strong by the point of the game, but I'll elaborate on that when we get to that part.
The infinite orbs.
The infinite orbs glitch, yeah, which you can't do until you get to the challenge of Atlas, but we're not there yet, so I'll hold off until then. Kiss my ass, Gorgon.
Do you have all the upgrades that you can use, or?
And we're missing
not
one
yet.
magic.
We're missing.
No, I mean red orbs. Red orb stuff you buy with red orbs.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no.
have enough to upgrade something right now, but my priority is the Blade of Chaos.
Oh,
Your
I see.
priority should always be the Blade of Chaos, because that's what you're using most.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fair
if you're
enough.
a magic man, then by all means. But I would hold off on that. I would upgrade your Blades of Chaos. Because the combos the maneuvers you can get later down the road, especially when you get to like level 4 or 5 Blades of Chaos, are pretty damn helpful.
Okay, I like how Kratos is actually stopping to talk to this asshole when the Oracle just got flown off by harpies. Shouldn't we be chasing her?
I'm sure she's
This guy's-
a figment of my imagination.
But this guy's being all cryptic and mysterious.
Clearly that's more important than the damsel in distress. Fascinating piles of dirt you have there.
Teach me your ways.
Dig a hole.
I will say, when was this released?
2005.
2000 when?
5.
2005. Okay, when was Devil May Cry 3 released? I need to check this.
2006, I want to say.
Cry 3. Because
No, I think it's 5, but
I'm just trying to technologically compare these games, because Devil May Cry 3 had much better animation in its cutscenes and also a greater ratio of real-time cutscenes to pre-renders. In
Yeah.
fact, it only really went pre-rendered when it was going balls-out action during a cutscene. Yeah, February 2005 is the release date for DMC3, so yeah, Devil May Cry 3 had a clear technical advantage in this area.
Yeah, I think God of War is one of those games. Well, this and the second one especially look great in action, but the pre-render stuff could have used a little more touch-ups.
Yeah.
But by God of War 3, I mean, damn. Like,
And
they knew exactly what to do with the hardware.
There have been some cases where an updated port with pre-rendered stuff has been done well. The GameCube ports of Resident Evils 2 and 3 look very smooth, even when the CGI videos are playing,
Yeah.
which I found impressive.
But in this game's case, it's very obvious when something is pre-rendered.
Yeah.